Stand by. The program will begin soon.
There's an example yesterday I saw of this woman who's been here. I mean, we might even play this clip. She's been here 20 years. She has 3 kids who were born here. Her kids are because of birthright citizenship, which is another subject that's coming up. And she's never bothered to even try to resolve her immigration status. Not in 20 years. She has never tried to resolve her immigration status. Not through Republican presidents, not through Democratic presidents, nothing. And so now, she's worried about being deported because they put out the sob story of this woman. Well, that's not the average person they're even looking at right now. The average person they're looking at crossed in the last 3 years are CNN is cutting jobs to embrace the digital future. No, they're cutting jobs because, as I like to say, they suck. CNN is undergoing a significant restructuring, planning to lay off about 200 employees, which constitutes approximately 6% of its workforce. This move is part of a broader strategy under CEO Mark Thompson to pivot towards a digital-first approach, focusing on expanding digital subscriptions and reducing costs from traditional TV operations. Wait a minute. Didn't they already try the CNN subscription service, which failed miserably? Which, if you truly have compassion for trans kids, you would allow them to all go through puberty, because 90% of kids who think they're trans change their mind once they go through puberty. That puberty is the fix for most of the problems. But you guys want the medicalization of kids and sterilization of kids and medical and surgical altering of kids who can't make that decision at 12 years old or 13 years old. Diablo asks, why is it when I try to show empathy and concern, people always misconstrue it? Last time I asked someone if their mom at least got a good check from the clinic that botched the abortion. Oh! Oh, God. Damn it, AD. I think you just need to find a gentle way.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
I would be willing to bet everything I own that submitting a 22-minute video montage that shows the most egregious acts of violence you can find from that day, when the defendant in question is on that video for only 6 seconds and the scene walking calmly, is highly prejudicial and a violation of the defendant's due process rights. The person was found guilty and sentenced to 19 months in prison. Now, it took 2 hours to read through all of the documents that were in the case file. Every motion submitted by the defendant was denied. Every motion by the defendant was denied. How often does that happen? And every motion submitted by the government was granted. They turned a trespass misdemeanor that would have resulted in a $50 ticket into 5 misdemeanors and a felony charge by charging the defendant with a statute that would have required the Secret Service to rope off the section he was in, which they did not. They also charged him with a statute that would have required them to prove Mike Pence was in the building at the time he walked through that corridor. He was not. And they used an Enron statute that the Supreme Court struck down. If you accept a pardon, you are admitting guilt. Period. That's the, because you can't be pardoned if you're not guilty.
Whether he can preemptive pardon, whether he can issue President's reportedly asking his staff whether he can issue preemptive pardons for himself, his family members, Rudy Giuliani. There's a simple answer: no. No, Mr.
Oh,
that
you
would be a
can't?
gross abuse
Oh,
of the presidential
it's a
pardon authority.
gross abuse of presidential pardon authority. Well, there you go. You accepted a pardon, Adam Kinzinger. You think you may have committed a crime. Oh, here, Jamie Raskin. Dirty Q-tip. Dirty Q-tip, Jamie Raskin. What else? What did he have to say?
Well, the seeking of pardons is
Yes, it's only on
powerful
one side.
demonstration of the consciousness of guilt. Or at least the consciousness that you may be in trouble.
Jamie
And that's
Raskin.
what's so shocking
Did he get a
about
pardon
this.
also? Wasn't he on
Well,
that committee?
The seeking of pardons is...
He was on that committee. I'm curious if you're going to condemn that part. Are you going to condemn that pardon?
You know, Joe Biden pardoned a lot of people. Yeah, he should answer for that and explain.
Lots of murderers, lots of drug dealers, lots of people who killed people. Commuted the sentence of a couple murderers. One who, in fact, one drug dealer who people died from taking the drugs that they sold them.
Stand by. The program will begin soon.
The Obama Aniston rumors have gone wild. Rumors have emerged on social media that suggest Barack and Michelle Obama might be heading towards divorce, with speculators linking Barack Obama to actress Jennifer Aniston. Those rumors have gained traction following Michelle Obama's absence from Jimmy Carter's funeral and the inauguration, and are based on tabloid stories and social media speculation without solid confirmation from the individuals involved. So far, they're still rumors, and I don't know why people are perpetuating them, but it is kind of fun to perpetuate rumors like that. No one's come out to, out and out deny anything. That's the weird part.
We should just take a deep breath and acknowledge the audacity.
The audacity!
Of a president who's so clearly concerned about his own criminal culpability.
Oh my God, his own criminal culpability and his son's business dealings. I know that they're talking about Joe Biden, aren't they?
And that of his family members.
Like the boy asked, are cats really soul suckers? Yes. Yes. That's why I'm not into cats. Dogs, man. I'm a dog guy. Avocado Diablo, is there an aisle in the grocery store that is less objectionable to have sex in? Where do you come up with this shit? Dude.
Has done something no person in the world has ever done before. A dead man, a dead politician has risen.
Yes.
Somebody who if we were 4 years ago at Davos, he's buried, a dead.
And I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding Donald Trump's demise that has failed. I wonder how many people at Davos, again, let me say it again. I wonder how many people at Davos have been funding what they had hoped would be Trump's demise. I bet you there's a few of them there. And it didn't work, did it now? Didn't work now, did it?
Politically known to me. He's now returned. This is the greatest comeback in political history of a politician. And then, therefore, he thinks he can do anything.
At the end of the show, every day on my show, if I put something on the screen or I'm talking about it, or it's a topic or an article that I'm presenting in this show, I provide links to every single thing that I've talked about, and even more, the ones I didn't even get to. I drop them in the chat at the end of the show, and also I drop them in the description. So if you want to find these articles, they will be in the links at the end of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, the one and only Dawg Knight.
Yeehaw. Yeah, I'm here. How we doing? Happy Tuesday. And I'm a little late, so you know how it goes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as PDawg Knight on the internet. Welcome back to the Dawg Knight Channel, where we talked about Spain yesterday, but net zero is working out like a charm. And, it's how it is. Now, I see that I'm having a little problem already. This is going to just piss me off. So let me just fix this while I'm talking to you. How is everyone doing today? It is Tuesday, the 29th of April, 2025. Gosh, this month flew by fast. What the hell? I mean, it feels like I just had my birthday and now it's almost over. Guess it's over. Call it a day. So, I obviously run a little late today. Is that working? That works a little bit. Let's take the saturation down. There we go. And look gray. There we go. Add a little brightness. And I look normal again. There we go. Well, normal-ish. As normal as I look on any given day. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the resolution of what happened in Spain and Portugal. We got a little bit of Canadian politics. We got, that looks weird. Gosh, I don't know why this does this. So this morning, as I was trying to show up today, the Streamlabs completely reset on me. And I hate it when it does that. It makes it so hard just to do what I do here. Let's try that. Let's add a little contrast, a little brightness. Oh, there. Now, do I look normal? It's weird. This kills me. White balance, is that what it does? That helps. And let's see. Well, maybe I took the brightness down. I don't know. All right, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. Anyway, so it took me forever to reset everything because you got to do all the settings. And still, this feed is still messed up. So I can't even fix it when people give donations. I can't check them off, but it is what it is. How are you all doing this morning? And also, if you haven't shared the show, I'm taking this link down because it's just in my way. Thanks for those who've already shared the show, though. I appreciate it, and several of you have done that. I'll get to that in a minute. Also, good morning to everybody. First in the chat today is Kara Soldier gets the bell. Also, good morning, Advocatus Diabli. JB's in the house. Miss Wild Wolf. Let's see. The Pope is here. Pope. Tyrannius the Third. The Blessed Lich is here. Good morning. Also, Resolute Germ. Mike Savage. Blarg. Select Boy. Also, Lewis is in the house. Welcome back again. Aaron Meredith. Johnny Boomer Tanko is here. GDSOB. Blue-Eyed Scream. Desert Tramp. A lot of people just making it here that, are becoming more regular. I'd like to see that. It's nice to have you here. The coffee today is in a cup from Budapest. Yes, I said Budapest because that's how they say it over there. And my coffee's cold. So there you go. Yay. 16 of y'all haven't stepped the like button. Yeah, do the like button thing. I haven't looked over there. There's 27 people and only 10 likes. So come on, get with it, people. Get with it. I'd appreciate it. Also, thanks to the people who've already shared the show or done a let's go on the old internet thingy there. So there's CG, I see you there, who also retweeted the show as well as Ty Alexander, Somnable Nation, Kirsten Shull, K Shull, JB, Scribe Light, Dog Thrapple, and Resolute Germ. Thanks for retweeting the show. Also got some Let's Go's. GB with the pogo stick. Got a Ric Flair woo there it is. Got a little daily Ric Flair. Useful Idiots. Oh no, what is this? Cory Booker and his Keem Jeffries. Oh, you can't even see that shit. No wonder. I didn't even notice. Okay, let's fix that right now. See, I told you, when you get caught up doing all this other stuff, reset everything, you can't... Yeah, I know. I figured that out. I didn't look over at the monitor just now. Anyway, let's start over here. There we go. There we got Woohoo from CG. Thank you. And then those people in Green Badger Outdoors. Ric Flair. Woo. And the Useful Idiots. I don't know which program, AI programs making these dolls, but people have done a lot of funny things with them. Also, Resolute Germ with Little Owen Hart. Yes. Gone too soon, Owen Hart. And then we got a Doge Dog from JB. That's pretty awesome. So there you go. And then Sound Noble Nation, thank you for tweeting out the show. Greatly appreciated. In fact, there we go. I'm trying to repost what you posted. Appreciate that. All right. I should probably, speaking of which, I should probably pin mine to the top of my account here, which is where? There we go. And we'll pin that one for today. There we go. All right. You ready for some news? Everything today I'm doing today is kind of coming up cold. Oh, Midnight Exile's here. Good morning. Anyone else that I missed? I think I got everybody. Oh, Attack Alpaca. Did I say Attack Alpaca? I don't remember saying that. You're here, though. So there you go. Good morning. All right. Let's start with this couple items. Oh, dang it. Forgot the holiday thing. See, this whole resetting of Streamlabs every once in a while, where it just resets on its own, kind of messes up my day. But I'm going to put out the old holly counter. We'll even put a link to it. So today's holidays. Here we go. Let's do the holidays. It is International Dance Day. Shake a leg and join the celebration of International Dance Day. Dance away your troubles and have a joyful time. So if you're on a protest line, there certainly will be a version of the electric slide. Now, it's also National Zipper Day. Now, I don't know why they did National Zipper Day with the rainbow zippers here. Is there something implied by that? I do not know. Celebrate National Zipper Day by getting creative. Make a unique zipper craft. Come up with cool new fashion. Who the hell gives a crap about zippers? I don't understand at all. I don't understand. Oh, and Splat Heart. Oh, that's not right, AD. Also, it's National Shrimp Scampi Day. Never heard of that one. Why? World Wish Day. If wishes were fishes, we'd all be Jesus. What is it? It's also the festival. Red Band's still going on. Viral Video Day. They have a day for viral videos? I had no idea. National Supply Chain Day. Well, that's going to shit right now. Hopefully we'll get that cleared up pretty soon. And then I have no idea. The McKinnleth Comedy Festival. I didn't know there's a special day for that. So anyway, that's what's going on in the world for the special days. Also, we are today. Is it today? Yes, we're celebrating the 100th day of the new Trump administration. Happy 100 is trending. There's with Donald and his lovely bride walking through the White House. Good morning. As this person says, let's see. Good morning, lovelies. Happy Tuesday. I slept so good. Well, I don't give a shit about whether you slept good. I hope you have a beautiful day. And if you're inclined to have a taco for Taco Tuesday, and most importantly, happy 100 days to the best decision I ever made was to vote for President Trump, and I'll never regret it. God bless President Trump. Have an awesome day and love y'all. So there you go. 100 days in the Trump administration. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of commentary on whether or not that is a good thing or a bad thing, and whether or not you got what you voted for. Well, so far I have, except for the indictments. Yeah, it's gone okay, I guess. I can't complain. I was a little taken by surprise in the tariff thing in a way, although I knew he was going to do that, but that seems to be working out. We're getting some trade deals with some countries, and it looks like we're going to be decoupling ourselves a little bit from China. China is asshole. And because it looks like India is going to be picking up the slack, as well as some of the other countries that are also putting tariffs on China. China's been getting isolated over there, and maybe that'll help U.S. manufacturing. Maybe it'll help, all kinds of things. These are subjects to all trying gloom and doom for the 100 days. Yeah, I should probably look up. I didn't even think of looking up what people are saying, But here's Lee Zeldin from the EPA. I guess he's going to talk about 100 days. Question, have you killed the Green New Deal? Lee Zeldin says this morning at the EPA, it's dead. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Let's, whoops, there. Let's give this.
Have you killed the Green New Deal? It's not quite stone cold dead, but getting there, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at the EPA, it's dead. And one thing that I would say to Americans out there, where we've heard terms in the past like climate change and environmental justice, what we really need to get smart on as taxpayers is when the Democrats had full control of power, what they were doing.
What were they doing with that power, Lee? Tell me what they were doing. Tell me.
They would pass tens of billions of dollars of new slush funds to pay their friends off.
Yeah,
and I would
pretty
say
much.
If we want to remediate an environmental concern and you're going to spend $1 to remediate it, spend that dollar directly on dealing with that environmental concern. Don't spend that dollar on some left-wing activist group to then tell us that we need to be spending the next dollar on remediating an environmental issue. And that's something the taxpayers really were taken advantage of during this last administration. We need to be smart on it. If they talk about a term with a definition that we might agree upon, and you build bipartisan support, that's one thing. But in the name of that term,
stop using the agencies to launder your money.
Cause economic pain on Americans who can least afford it, put policies in place that suffocate the economy, go after entire industries. We as Americans need to be smart on it, and we need to hold these politicians accountable.
All right, thank you, Lee Zeldin.
EPA Administrator, thanks very much for coming.
Very good, very good. Okay, so anyway, I'm going to scroll down this 100 days thing, though, because I hadn't even really thought of this. Now, this is, well, let's say this is the happy. We'll skip, we'll do the ones that don't say happy. So we'll go to the 100 days tab, because now this will give you a better idea. You'll probably get some mixed reaction versus the happy 100 days versus the just 100 days. So let's scroll down a couple and see what's going on here. Someone called clandestine. War clandestine. Trump's approval at 100 days is the lowest ever, brought to you by the people who said, okay, that's because it's not. Trump was a Russian asset. 100 laptop was fake. COVID was naturally occurring. Mass COVID shots worked. Ukraine was winning. Biden was sharp as a tack. Kamala was a great candidate. So that's the quote. Trump's approval at 100 days is the lowest ever, brought to you by those same people who said all those things. Brick suit, big time Trump supporter. 100 days rally. Parking lot is now open. People are starting to arrive, and the rally energy is beginning. Hope to see you here. Now, look, I appreciate the effort here, but Trump people get to rallies that Trump is going to be at, and I don't know if you can have a rally in some parking lot. Although, well, here, let's see what this is. The brick suit guy. He wears that funny looking brick suit thing that's the bricks on it. That's probably why he calls himself Brick Suit. Let's see what he says here about 100 days.
Hey, everybody. Brick Suit here. How
Hello,
you doing?
Brick Suit. I'm great.
Macomb Community College in Macomb County, Michigan, just north of Detroit. And if you can't tell, maybe my hat will give you a clue why
you're going to have a
I'm
cast
here
of
for the
50s here.
Rally to mark the first 100 days of President Trump's second term. Now,
yeah, that doesn't sound like you're going to get many people.
That the parking lot wasn't going to open until after 10 a.m., but I want to let you know that it is open now. So if you are local
and the lines
down,
are just forming.
The green light is lit. You can get onto the lot. Not an issue. We've got people starting to arrive. We've got the press here. We've got a couple vendors set up.
Got some Kaibos, a.k.a. porta potties.
And I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to hearing what President Trump has to say tonight.
Oh, there is a rally there. So never mind. I didn't realize that. So yeah, they're hey
everybody.
They're ready for Trump's rally. So there probably will be a bunch of people there. So never mind. Someone here's, I don't know how, but the Twitter algorithm keeps getting worse. Okay, I don't care about that. 100 Days of Making America Great Again. That's from the White House. Scott Jennings, President Trump inherited the worst border crisis in modern American history. In just 100 days, he has effectively closed the southern border, deported scores of violent criminals, tune out the detractors. This remains the strongest issue. Here's 52 seconds of the best commentator on CNN, Scott Jennings.
So I have a different point of view. I actually think it's still their best issue, and I think when it all shakes out, what are they going to be able to say? Donald Trump effectively closed the southern border just by taking office and changing the attitude of the federal government. They have deported lots of violent criminals. And frankly,
True.
they are sending a different message than the previous administration.
True.
You know, the old way was, hey, just get here and we'll find a way and it'll probably work out for you. The new message is, don't come here. Please don't come here. And now people know that we mean it. When it all shakes out, I think we're going to find that Donald Trump inherited the biggest mess of all was on immigration. He had the biggest cleanup job to do on it, and he ultimately did what he had to do to bring order to us. I still think it's their best issue. I still think they're going to lean into it, and obviously it's the issue that motivated his campaign way back in 2015 in the first place, and he stuck with it all the way through. I still think it's their number one issue. So I have a different point of view. I actually think
we just
still
got it. Okay, so there you go. All right, and I want a detractor though. Here's live Fox and Friends audience members tells the show how she feels about Trump's administration 100 days into the president's first term. On a scale of 1 to 10, 20, I feel safer. I feel more confident. Oh my goodness. Let's see what she's saying here. I'm not gonna full screen all these. Let's just make it so you can see it. Here you go.
Confident. I know.
First 100 days. There we go. Start over.
The first 100 days. What grade would you give Donald Trump and why?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 20.
20.
I wouldn't give him a 20 yet. I'm sorry, not yet.
I feel safer. I feel more confident. I know who's running the country, and we have.
That's true. Know who's running the country.
I think the economy is going to come around. I love the people that he's picked for the cabinet. I think everybody is just doing a top-notch job, and I love Doge.
The first 100 days.
Okay, so whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Hang on. Let's put it back. There you go. Here's a good question for I'll put a question in the Q&A today. Let's ask the same question. Let's go Q&A. How would you rate Trump's first 100 days and why? There you go. We'll put that in the Q&A today. You can answer it. Personally, I'm gonna go. I'm only going to about kind of in between 7 and 8, so let's say 7.5. Now, the reason being, I think that, and granted, it's way too soon to start seeing a bunch of indictments, but I would love to see some actual, at least known investigations or indictments into people who have done wrong, particularly in the field of the Epstein, whatever. And I see Midnight Nexo says the same thing. So, but tell me what you think in the Q&A today. That's today's Q&A. You can click the link up at the top of the chat, and that'll take you to Q&A, and you can drop your opinion on how would you rate Trump's first 100 days. We'll read those towards the end of the show, or maybe we'll read them periodically throughout the show. I haven't decided yet. All right, banner up at Heritage, celebrate President Trump's first 100 days. They put a big banner up there. Welcome to the 100 days of the golden age. I'm trying to find the detractors. Where are the detractors? New. Trump-hating media blasted President Trump with 92% negative coverage during his first 100 days. Hey, is that a surprise, though? Is anyone surprised by that? Color me nonplussed at all. Not because, of course, they're going to give him negative coverage because they don't like him. Meanwhile, when Biden took office, he was showered with 59% positive coverage with only 41% negative. To 233 minutes of immigration coverage across ABC, CBS, and NBC, a whopping 3.5 minutes mentioned Trump's success in cutting border crossings. Most Americans have lost trust in the media because the country's top news programs are now indistinguishable from North Korean propaganda. Well, no, they aren't. They're completely indistinguishable because if it was North Korean-style propaganda, it'd be 100% positive coverage of President Trump, but it's almost 100% negative. So it's almost the opposite of Korean style, but North Korean style, but whatever. Nothing but one-sided narrative, no fair debate, no honest discussion. Well, we're starting to get a little. We got Scott Jennings over on Fox every once in a while, and we see a lot of his clips. And Fox usually has some lefties on there every once in a while, but I don't think necessarily they give them a lot of leeway. So at least there's let's just say there's a little bit of progress, a tiny smidgen of progress. What a tinge of progress. let's see. It's been 100 days since, and it's been 100 days since we said goodbye to these assholes. So there you go. That's what's the most important thing. In fact, I'm going to give that its own. It's getting its own link in the links today, because that's fan-fucking-tastic. It's been 100 days since we got rid of these losers. Good morning, Dom O'Leary. How you doing, brother? All right. So I'm waiting for. Oh, wait a minute. Now, see, this one. Donald Trump has had the best 100 days ever as president. Okay, this is a brother saying this, so we know that's going to get liberals triggered.
Donald Trump's first 100 days in office are coming up, and now the liberal news stations have already started their smear campaign, saying Donald Trump got the lowest approval rating ever. This is the lowest approval rating for a president in a second term. Straight nonsense. They got to make up stuff about Trump because he got in and got straight to business. We had an issue with the southern border for the longest. Kamala Harris, Joe Biden, they gaslit us for 4 years straight and said that we were having no issues at the southern border, that it wasn't a record number of illegal immigrants invading our nation, that it wasn't illegal immigrants unaliving innocent American citizens, that it wasn't illegal immigrants harassing our legal immigrant communities. Y'all said that wasn't happening. Donald Trump get in office and address that immediately. Not because of Trump and Tom Homan. It's a record low of illegal border crossings at the southern border. Some of these immigration shelters in these sanctuary cities, they have to close down because of a lack of applicants. That's because of Donald J. Trump. That's what we call the Trump effect. What else? The tariffs. It's not our fault that y'all don't understand the tariffs. Y'all walking around here complaining, oh, Donald Trump's about to ruin the world with these tariffs. It's not our fault that you don't understand Trump's agenda. It's not our fault that you don't understand that Barack Obama implemented tariffs on China and it didn't work. It didn't get us a better trade deal. Joe Biden got in office, tried the same thing, still didn't work. But then when Trump get in office and apply blanket tariffs, all of a sudden China want to try to come to the table. Now you're seeing them starting to remove stuff from their tariffs. This is what you call getting a fair deal. This is all because of Donald Trump. He shook it up. He took it to the next level. Obama couldn't get it done. Biden couldn't get it done, but guess who is getting it done? That'd be Donald Trump. So like I said, it ain't my fault that y'all don't understand tariffs. Y'all want to keep telling me these lies like gas went up? That's a bold-faced lie. Gas is not going up. I'm paying $3.60 for 93 gas, so y'all can tell that lie to somebody else. I'm not trying to hear it. Then y'all told us, well, what about the jobs? Who's going to pick the fruit? Who's going to cut the grass and all this other nonsense? Well, how about this? According to the BLS, Bureau of Labor Statistics, 151,000 jobs came back to the United States in February. 228,000 jobs came back to the United States in March. That's 379,000 jobs. And y'all got the nerve to complain about what Donald Trump is doing? Said he wasn't creating any jobs? Straight up nonsense. What about these HBCUs? Y'all said Trump is a YT supremacist. Well, how about he signed the executive order calling out the states, saying the states have not been holding up their responsibility when it comes to funding these HBCUs. He already got permanent funding for the HBCUs.
Okay, I'm going to stop there. You can watch the rest yourself. 363. He's paying 63 for premium, which is about what it is here for premium. Let's see, I bought gas on the way home from Iowa, though. It was not even at Sam's Club. Like a Sam's Club here, it's like $2.80 something, $2.89, maybe $2.80, $2.81 something. And I got it for $3.76 or $2.76 for regular unleaded gas coming home from Iowa. I was like, damn, that's even lower than there without even going to Sam's Club. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, I don't see, the pro 100-day people are greatly outnumbering the negative 100 days people. So there's a whole thread of this, but so there you go. I'm gonna leave it at that. Moving on. Let's move it on because I don't have a lot of time today. What is this? Oh, since 100 days to say goodbye to these losers. Got it. Indigenous Peoples Day is trending. Now, yesterday, Columbus Day was trending because, Donald Trump said he's going to bring Columbus Day back. And so now all the people who are complaining about Columbus Day, when it's not even Columbus Day, are talking about Indigenous Peoples Day. So for someone here who says he can do whatever, I'm still celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day. Well, you know what? Don't care. Indigenous Peoples Day, tray in the basket. Christopher Columbus Day. Okay, some people are talking about it. Let's see. What's the problem? Christopher Columbus being a federal holiday has little to do with Columbus. just a little FYI, it should have never been changed to Indigenous Peoples Day. Well, it wasn't. They never officially got rid of Columbus Day. They just, some places have also decided to call it Indigenous Peoples Day. So anyway, Jonathan Peterson, good morning. Good to have you here. Lakota man, 1492, the year Native Americans discovered Columbus lost at sea. Yeah, no. Here, Columbus Day was never canceled by Democrats. It has been and remains to be a national holiday. What President Biden did do was celebrate and recognize and commemorate Indigenous Peoples Days alongside, not replacing Columbus Day. But no, they made a bigger deal about Indigenous Peoples Day than Columbus Day. But anyway, so people are mad at Trump for even talking about it. So that's why that's trending. Also, what else? Net zero. Let's talk about this net zero thing I put up in the thumbnail up there. Congratulations to Portugal and Spain for achieving net zero today. Zero emissions, zero electricity, zero explanations. No. So as you know, they had a little problem over in Portugal and Spain where they lost power for the entire day. Now, as I checked the interwebs later in the day, they were slowly restoring it to certain areas, and I think they may have actually gotten the power back in most places. But as you know, major power outages hit Europe, capitals in darkness. A significant power outage affected Spain, Portugal, Andorra, and parts of France, disrupting services like subways, phone networks, traffic signals, and ATMs. The outage involves Spanish generator Red Electrica, Portuguese distributor Redis, and impacted over 50 million people in Spain and Portugal alone. I mean, that's like sometimes living in Nigeria where the power goes out every once in a while. But anyway, so widespread power outage hit Spain, Portugal, Andorra, and parts of France. The disruption led to issues in public transportation, phone and internet services, and basic utilities such as traffic lights and ATMs. Spanish electricity operator Red Electrica reported significant effects throughout the Iberian Peninsula, which has a combined population surpassing 50 million people. Details on the exact number of people impacted remain unclear, but several regions in Spain, including the Parliament building in Madrid and numerous subway stations, were left without power just after midday. A chart from the Spain's electricity network indicated a significant drop in electricity demand around 12:15 p.m., plunging from 27,500 megawatts to about 15,000 megawatts. In Portugal, similar scenarios unfolded in the capital, Lisbon, as well as in the northern and southern areas. Portuguese government, represented by Cabinet Minister Leitão Amora, indicated that the disturbances likely originated from issues with the distribution network in Spain. However, the exact cause of the outages was unconfirmed as of the time of publication. So, yeah, they lost power. Good morning, Lady Kara. Nice to have you here. So anyway, then we got this this article in the American Thinker, because here's what happened. Just, I think, 6 days before this power outage, Spain had some great, huge announcement how they had achieved 100% electricity from renewable sources. They were very excited that they had done that. And 6 days later, the power goes to crap. So, I didn't reset that, did I? Thank you, by the way, for fully funding the drinking fund. I'll have to change that to something else now. Spain's big blackout came less than a week after it went full green on electricity. Spain and Portugal achieved net zero on Monday, but not the way anyone would want to achieve net zero, by going back to the cave people times with no electricity. According to the New York Times, a major power outage hit Spain. We already know what the story is. Well, their whole society was disrupted, and no one knows exactly why yet. The massive blackout left. This is the same thing. Politico Europe, the massive blackout that left the Iberian Peninsula in the dark on Monday appears to have been sparked by the unexplained disappearance of 15 gigawatts of power from Spain's electricity grid. This has never happened before, and a grave-looking Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez had a press conference, or that's what he said, late on Monday evening, and what caused it is something that experts have not yet established, but they will. Maybe you were relying on green energy that isn't all that renewable. I don't know. Anyway, now how does anyone lose 15 16 gigawatts of electricity, accounting for about 60% of Spain's consumption at the time. Sure, they are looking into a cyber attack or a terrorist act, or a rare weather event involving magnetic fields, or maybe some bad maintenance, and they should. But they have gone remarkably quiet lately, making one think that one possibility they might not want they might want to be quiet about. The blackout was unprecedented, and it happened shortly after this happened, right here. So there you go. For those keeping score at home, April 22nd, Spain brags about hitting 100% renewable power. April 28th, Spain has the nation's largest blackout in history. They went completely to wind and solar as a result. And so there you go. Spain launched an experiment on April 16th to generate all power for the entire Iberian Peninsula only through renewable energy sources such as wind, solar, and hydro. There you go. That should be just enough to explain it. Those are not reliable sources. Spain hits first weekday of 100% renewable power on national grid. So Michael Schellenberger, who's an expert on science matters, thinks this is the most likely case, as do a lot of us, given the sudden reticence of public officials. Renewables don't risk blackouts, said the media, but they did, and they do. The physics are simple. And now, as blackouts in Spain strand people in elevators, jam traffic, and ground flights, it's clear that too little inertia due to excess solar resulted in a system collapse. So they have reasons to be reticent, having promoted green energy for years, forcing Spaniards and others to give up their fossil fuels for the greeny wave of the future. That wave, as it turns out, involves begging Morocco for an electricity bailout and living like cave people without even access to their own money. If authorities who promoted this greening model can't admit this, then Spain will have many more of these net zero days, again, which include zero electricity. And this is the green future the left has been promoting around the world, and it's primitive. So, yeah, they're not reliable sources of energy. You know, the wind stops blowing, or, you know, you have some extra cloudy days, and you lose 15 gigawatts in one friggin' day. So there you go. Spain is a country of thieves and liars. Essentially, everyone in Spain is constantly trying to find a way to live off benefits and not work. That includes everyone in government up to their king. Really? Thanks. I'm looking forward to going to Spain at the end of the month because we got a wedding in Spain that we got to go to. Good morning, TC. By the way, I see you there. Good morning. All right. Next. What do we got? Well, let's just stop for a moment and enjoy our new Streamlabs Superstar. That's Avocado Style. You are the Streamlabs Superstar spot today. So far, dropping a small bullet in the tip jar, a.k.a. 223, thank you very much, who says Spain's power outage was more than likely caused by the atmosphere. The high tension lines basically became useless because of it. Renewable energy probably had nothing to do with it. It was not a generation problem, but a transmission problem. Well, thank you for sharing that, and I appreciate your candor and expertise on things power, because I'm not an expert on anything, and I'm assuming that you might have some, you might have some inside info that I don't know about. So thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, next, Chuck the smarmy prick from Schumer is trending for some reason. Born, by the way, Reaccion Puerto Rico and Special Can Acid on the honorable mention list of my favorite Canadians. Chuck Schumer apparently says he's not going to be going anywhere. He's not going to be retiring. Yay, I guess. I really hope that Chuck Schumer stays in office as long as he possibly can.
Now, staying with that, Senator, as the party contemplates its future, you yourself has faced recent calls to retire or at least step down as Senate Democrats leader. You said
he's rallied the troops.
Tell our audience why. Would you explain that, please?
I'm staying put because I have been able to unite my caucus
in
a very strong fight against Trump. And that's what we have to do. And I'm doing it every day in every way.
Now, staying with that, Senator,
okay, well,
that's the party contemplates its future.
I kind of think, shut up, please.
Resist, we must.
Whatever. Also, Chuck apparently is mad that Donald Trump is I guess, not being nice to judges. In 2005, Chuck's... Wait, here's Chuck also during that interview.
They're trying to intimidate judges.
Intimidate judges?
Or the second.
Who would ever intimidate a judge?
They said they're going to go after
Who would ever do that?
That is so against the Constitution.
Who would ever do that?
Wait. The whole Justice Department are trying to do is push that judge, threaten that judge, so the judge is no longer impartial.
How disrespectful of judges.
You cannot have a democracy without an independent judiciary, and they're trying to clip the wings of that independence.
Just
and
awful.
They're taking away fundamental rights. I want to tell you, Gorsuch, I want to tell you, Kavanaugh, you have released the whirlwind, and you will pay the price.
That sounds pretty intimidating.
You won't know what hit you if you
that sounds like
go
a threat.
forward with these awful decisions.
Okay, there you go, Chuck. Chuck practicing what he preached in the past. If there's no hypocrisy, there are no Democrats. There you go. All right, so there you go. That's why Chuck's trending. Who else is up here? Got to talk about Canada. I got to get to the Canada thing. Amazon is trending, and Jeff Bezos. And apparently, Amazon is saying something about they're going to try to put little add-ons to your ticket prices on Amazon, whether or not if you buy something from China, it's going to tell you what the tariff cost of whatever you bought is. So, and some people are happy about it, some are not. Let's see. Someone's saying, people are looking at this Amazon displaying tariff thing all wrong. I view it as an insanely helpful tool provided by them to make sure I don't buy cheap Chinese crap. I wish more sites would do it. So anyway, yeah, they're gonna add a little tariff price to things that you buy from places that have a lot of tariff that we're charging tariffs to. Now let's see. And okay, here's some news people talking about it. Let's see this here real quick. We'll play this one. Because anyway, here we go.
Reported this morning that Amazon will soon display a little number next to the price of each product that shows how much the Trump tariffs are adding to the cost of each product. So isn't that a perfect crystal clear demonstration that it's the American consumer and not China who is going to have to pay for these policies?
Again, it'll also tell you what crap they're buying from China and what they're not buying from China, which, whatever. And, again, I'm skeptical of this in a certain way, because when they say, because I saw, was it Temu does this? Apparently started doing this, and God forbid you buy some shit from Temu and they tell you how much you're paying in tariff prices, because their stuff is crap anyway. But I want to see if they're honest about it, though, because they're not buying stuff from China at the manufacturing cost price of it, or the shipping cost of it. They're selling you a retail price. Now, so if they show you something that has double the retail price because of this, then they're lying their asses off. But anyway,
I will take this, since I just got off the phone with the president about Amazon's announcement. This is a hostile and political act by Amazon. Why didn't Amazon do this when the Biden administration hiked inflation to the highest level in 40 years?
Yeah, what was the inflation
and
cost?
I would also add that it's not a surprise, because as Reuters recently wrote, Amazon has partnered with a Chinese propaganda arm. So this is another reason why Americans should.
Oh, she was ready for that shit.
It's another reason.
She was ready for that shit, wasn't she?
Critical supply chains here at home to shore up our own critical supply chain and boost our own manufacturing here.
Is Jeff Bezos still a Trump supporter?
Look, I will.
Jeff Bezos was never a Trump supporter in the first place. He just showed up to kiss the ring and hopefully thought he'd get some special treatment out of it. Jeff Bezos not a Trump supporter. He went to the inauguration. Big fucking deal.
Will not speak to the president's relationships with Jeff Bezos, but I will tell you that this is certainly a hostile and political action by Amazon. And Secretary, if you have anything to add.
Yeah, I would also add that the bringing down the terrible Biden inflation has been a priority for the first 100 days of the Trump administration, and President Trump has done a great job of leading that since January 20th. Interest rates, mortgage rates are down, gasoline and energy prices are down. We're expecting
nobody cares about the fucking eggs.
And as Caroline said, the big tax on consumers that goes unnoticed is deregulation or regulation, and we are deregulating and bringing that down. So, from a household income point of view, we would expect real purchasing increases. We've seen them over the first 100 days, and we would expect that to accelerate. We are doing peace deals, trade deals, tax deals, and deregulating. And the deregulation is a longer lead time, but I think by the third and fourth quarters, that's really going to kick in.
And look, we're in the first 100 days. The economic impact of everything that he's doing is not going to necessarily kick in the first 100 days. But anyway, someone here, Amazon, tariffs are making things more expensive. White House, no, they're not. Amazon shows price for tariffs. White House, this is a hostile political act. It is a hostile political act. They know what they're doing. How about displaying up front where the product is made? Amazon is almost all made in China. Good point. So anyway, that's what Amazon's doing. So that's why Amazon and Bezos are trending. Let's see. Oh, by the way, I wonder if Amazon will also explain to the American people why its profit margin must increase every single year and how much Jeff Bezos' $500 million wedding will cost each consumer. They are playing a dangerous political game. Somewhat, I guess. So, yeah. Amazon display tariff costs for consumers. Well, okay, good. If I see that tariff cost, I may make different decisions on buying shit from Amazon. Great. I buy stuff from Amazon. I've been a Prime customer for 10 years probably or whatever. And I'll still buy shit from Amazon because it's convenient and it makes sense sometimes. And sometimes it's stuff I can't find easily. And I'm like, oh, well, let me see if I can find it on Amazon. Oh, shit, there it is. So whatever. I don't buy a lot of stuff though, anyway, because I'm old. I don't need a lot of shit. All right, next, Made in America is trending. Basically, same thing. Someone says, I have no problem with Amazon listing how much Trump's tariffs are costing consumers. While you're at it, why don't you just add a Made in America filter so we can buy American and stop supporting communist China? Yeah, baby. Yeah. America. Fuck yeah. So anyway, Made in America is trending, and also Buy American is trending. We as Americans have to make a decision. Do we want an economy dominated by garbage Chinese digital retailers like Shine and Temu, or do we want an economy that prioritizes quality, American-made goods from American businesses? The choice could be simple. Buy American. By the way, and here's an example. Now, Karen, learning how tariffs work in real time. That's because you're buying a bunch of crap shit from Temu. Here's what they were talking about. So, mind blown and pissed off, my granddaughter found the perfect dress for her uncle's wedding on Temu, which means that's put together with, Elmer's glue and fucking dandelion seeds. It was marked down to $19. I went ahead and ordered it, and after I hit the Purchase Now button, I got a receipt for $54. I couldn't figure out what I did wrong, so I went to my receipt, and look what happened. I was charged $31.44 import fee. The dress is only $19. No more Temu for me. So, yeah, they call it an import charges. That's interesting, because your little $19 dress, and guess what? Temu's lying to you. Here's what Temu's doing. They're taking a dress that they produce for probably $3 and they charge $19 for it. And then when they charge you $19 for it, then they're adding this to make it look like worse. That dress is $3. Don't buy shit from Temu. Don't buy shit from Shine. Either one of them. Everything they make sucks anyway. All right, let's see. I've got time left. Rand Paul is trending. Apparently, Rand Paul is trying to push through a bill to get rid of Trump's tariffs. Senator Rand Paul claims he has the votes to block President Trump's tariffs in the Senate. Which, that's a dangerous game for Democrats to vote on, because Democrats love tariffs when it's not Donald Trump. Rand Paul wants to take away President Trump's biggest weapon as he battles China in trade war. The war to finally stop American people from getting ripped off. Rand Paul's a traitor. So a lot of people are mad at Rand Paul. Wasn't it the pro-tariff crowd trying to tell us tariffs wouldn't increase the cost of goods? Sure seems like an admission. He's saying that the Trump floats income tax cut to ease tariff impact. I don't know what he's talking about there. So anyway, some people mad at Rand Paul. If you can swing through that thread. Also, by the way, did you hear that a Democrat has introduced articles of impeachment against Donald Trump? Now, is it some real well-known Democrat, real big hitting, giant hitting, I don't know, leadership person? Nah, it's this dude. Does anybody know? Anyone hear of Congressman Shreve Danadar? This is Congressman. This guy. Does anyone know who the fuck this is? I've never seen it before. Here, and I don't know if that hair's real either. That looks like a wig. Anyway, here's the Congressman. We'll see how much I can stand getting through this.
This is Congressman Sri Thanedar.
Sri Thanedar
Donald Trump
from
has
Michigan.
already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous.
Hold up. In the immortal words of Roger Daltrey, who the fuck are you? I have no idea who this dude is. He's from Michigan, I guess. Anyway.
Supreme Court ruling that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said the wrongfully deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process.
No.
Trump ignored it.
No,
he ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact. This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern. That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump.
And where's it? Where's that?
Mr.
Tannadar, where's that resolution going? It's going nowhere. Good God. I'm not going to play the rest of this because it's just some bullshit. Michigan is fucked. People reply to this. Michigan is fucked. Is this an SNL comedy sketch? 3-year Letterman, my favorite account on the internet. Hello, Tyler F., by the way. 3-year Letterman, don't take anything serious if you ever see this account. It says, Senator, double jeopardy literally prohibits you from impeaching him again. Also, you need 4/5 of all states to ratify the impeachment, which isn't happening since he won over 4/5 of the states. That's just some funny shit. Yeah. Hello, BV Luminous, too. What up? Christy Mayer, stop calling me about my car warranty. Oh, my God. If this reply gets more likes than your post, you have to self-deport to India. Brick Suit, is your face even real? You look like a face swap. He kind of does. No, it's a hair swap. He's wearing either a wig or someone else's hair from his hair club for men. I'm telling you. So anyway, there's the comments on this are great. Why is this guy from my local 7-Eleven filing an impeachment against Trump? Oh God. Oh Lord, look at that shit. Oh, now what is this? 2010, Sri Thanadar, Michigan Democratic politician and businessman, owned a pharmaceutical testing lab, Anna Klin Preclinical Services in Oxford, New Jersey, under the parent company Azopharma. When Azopharma went bankrupt in 2010, the lab was shuttered and approximately 118 beagles and 55 macaw monkeys were left in the facility. Oh, Lord. Reports indicate that former lab workers climbed fences to provide food and water to the animals as they were initially left without proper care. Animal welfare groups, including Pets Alive in New York and the Defense of Animals in California, stepped in to rescue the animals. By July 4th, 2010, the beagles were placed in shelters for adoption, and the monkeys were later relocated to sanctuaries across the United States. Well, that's kind of sad. I said Roger Daltrey, didn't I? What did I say? Didn't I say in the immortal words of Roger Daltrey? Anyway, so yeah, that's not good. What the hell? Anyway, so there you go. There's some articles of impeachment. Now I know somebody. What did our friend Hotep Jesus put? Oh, here we go. Here's a reply from our friend Hotep Jesus. Dear ex-constituents, today I file articles of impeachment against Representative Sri Tanadar for poor impersonation of Jimmy Fallon, wasting taxpayers' money and wasting my time. My office wishes to have him expelled from the United States with no possibility of return. Thank you. There you go. That's the perfect answer. That's getting a separate link. That needs a separate link. Where is Mr. Tanadar? This guy right here. There it is. There's Tanadar. Right behind him, you're going to find our good friend Hotep Jesus. There you go. All right, moving on. Let's see. Canada. Oh, yeah, I got to talk about Canada before we go. How do I summarize this? The Canada had elections. And in summary, hello, Darren Root, by the way. The Temu Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, is the Temu Jimmy Fallon, definitely. How do I describe the Canadian elections? Let me think of a... Y'all are fucked. You got this same shit, different day. Don't forget the Q&A. No, I'm not. That's why I've got to get this done here. Canada, apparently the Liberals are projected winners, which means you are going to have an Irish Prime Minister in Canada. Canadian Broadcasting Corporation has called the election in Canada for the Liberal Party, with Prime Minister Mark Carney expected to retain leadership. Liberal Party supporters gathered at the TD Place Centre Arena in Ottawa, Ontario, where Carney is expected to speak after early election results. So Liberals have won the election, according to Reuters. The results have not yet shown whether the Liberals will form a minority or a majority government. So there you go. Congratulations, Canada. I think. And to form a majority government, the winning party must win 172 seats in Parliament, and it remains unclear as if the Liberal Party will hit that government per Reuters, whatever. They said somewhere between 119 and 144 seats. So they'll have to do a little bit of coalition. But yeah, you're going to get you're getting Trudeau's handpicked choice. And what is this? And I don't care. Wait a minute. Oh, but here's a good point for a lot of Americans. Have you considered the only reason you care about Canadian elections is because your life is so focused on one man? You need to get creative in how you criticize him. Nothing happens in Canada that matters in your life. If you're an American, literally nothing. Well, except for the tar sands oil shit, whatever. Canada is electing Carney to spite Trump. It's like having a neighbor who destroys his own house, thinking it will slow his neighbor who's boss, to show his neighbor who's boss. And they wonder why we make fun of them. Well, now part of it too is, I think the reason this happened too, Poilievre kind of shot himself in the foot in a way too by deciding to pick a fight with Trump with the tariff thing. And so basically he, if he's giving off half the same message as Carney, then what's the point of changing? I would think if I was Canadian. Now let's see. But he did make a statement this morning. Pierre Poilievre out with a strong statement this morning. Looks like he isn't going down without a fight, saying states want to correct their votes, which they now know were based on irregularities and fraud, plus corrupt process, never received legislative approval. This is something from what? All Mike Pence has to do is send them back to the states and we will win. Do it. Because that's not Poilievre. What is that? Here it is. Now this person says Pierre Poilievre deserves to lose. He acted tough, but this is just as spineless as the rest of them. He's been preaching about Canada's fentanyl problem for years, but as soon as Trump began talking about it, he stopped. Typical politician. So good luck, Canada. That's all I got to say about that. All right, I got a couple other things up here I had. Oh, Alberta. Yeah, there's the talk of Alberta seceding from Canada. Yeah, probably not. And Canada will never be our 51st state, which is fine. But and then I have one other article up here, SCOTUS case against LGBTQ books, Forced and Little Ones. We'll do that one tomorrow. Let's get to finish up with the Q&A today. So the question today was, how would you rate Trump's first 100 days and why? Thank you, Avocados Diallo, for putting the spaces in. Ended up not needing them. Darren Root, 5, not bad, not good. Yeah, I'm going a little higher than that. Some things were excellent, and then he's got a lot to work on. But a lot of it, look, all the economy stuff, that takes a lot more time than even what he was talking about in the campaign trail. And I said it back when he was campaigning. I'm like, yeah, you're not going to get that done day one, but you can certainly have an impact on how our economy goes. Avocados Dalby says, I give him a 7. If more people were being marched through town dressed like Smurfs and pelted with cum balloons, I would give him a 9. I guess you had to be here Friday to understand that. I understand it because I was here Friday because it's my show and we were interviewing kids and that was one of the questions. And oh no, that wasn't even one of the questions. That was from yesterday, wasn't it? I don't know where that was from, but that was from yesterday. Pope Tyrannius III gives him a 7 out of 10. It would be a 9, but we still don't know who was on Epstein Island. Well, we know who was on it. We don't know why there are no indictments of those people, but yes, I agree. They need to fix that. Ms. Wildwolf says I would rate it a 75%, so 7.5. He has done a lot of great things so far. There's too many things that have come to light, but not fully disclosed or not fully, look, and again, like even with the prosecutions, a lot of that shit takes time, research, a lot of paper shuffling, a lot of, you got a lot of interns out there going through things with a fine-tooth comb. So I'm hoping, I still have hope, but if by the end of the year I don't start seeing anything about that Epstein shit, then I'm going to be upset. GDSOB says, I rate my Tangerine Mussolini's first 100 days at a 7.59. S-tier indictments need to flow like molten aluminum out of a Tesla gigapress. I hear you. Kara Soldier gives him an 8.5. Trump has been doing a lot of what he's promised. He's bringing countries to the negotiating table. He's cracking down on the border, cutting down on waste, and prices are slowly coming down. Correct. That's a good answer. I give him 1 point less, but yeah, look, if anything, he's doing the things he said he was going to do, and if you notice, the entire team is very open about everything they're doing. So because they don't avoid the press, they're talking to the press every time someone asks something. They're out there answering questions, and so we know what's going on. And I can't, I like the direction that we're heading. Annalyn says everything is better. The violent homeless are gone. The drug fiends are gone. Rents are going down. Fast food is better. It is like switch has been flipped and everything in my day to day is better. Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that. Lord Stanhope I'm assuming you meant couldn't be more excited and triumphant. Okay, and then Selected Boy, last answer. So far, the first 100 days is going strong despite a bit of roadblock from the rogue judges. P.S. They should be primaried and arrested. Or just, look, my understanding, I don't remember which pundit I was watching while I was at work or listening to while I was at work, but they're saying that there is absolutely, the administration itself is not upset about all these judges doing their shit. They're just going to do their best to comply with whatever they're doing, and they're going to go through the entire process, which means going through the appeals process, and they feel like they'll win in the long run a lot of these appeals processes, and some of these judges may even get sanctioned for, stepping out of their own line. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens with that. I think, but for me, I stick with my 7.5 for the direction and actually, I'm surprised at the speed at which he's, and seriously, as he's taken, everything forward. He came in here with understanding how the first time he was in office, you can't just pick the cronies and lobbyists to be part of everything. He brought in people that are willing to say, fuck it, we're moving forward and we're going to do this shit. And, you know, sometimes it's ask forgiveness and not permission, but we need a sea change. And the biggest thing that I am happy about is they're actually looking at the bullshit that our government spends money on. And I've been asking for that basically my entire political life, for the government just to slow the fuck down. I mean, they did it for a while with Gingrich and that group. They got to a balanced budget. I was like, oh my God, thank you, God, thank you, Jesus, whatever. They need to get back to that. They need to stop the spending. I don't care if they bring in more revenue. I don't care if they try to take more money from people who have money. How about stop spending our money on stupid shit? And that's where I'm at. So there you go. Now there's a whole bunch of notifications I have not even seen. Let's see. I need some thank yous here. Oh, all kinds of people. Miss Wild Wolf, Resolute Germ, Jonathan Peterson, Reaction on Puerto Rico. Thanks, guys, for tweeting out the show. But that's going to be it for today. I hope that you all have a wonderful day, but it is time for me to call it quits. Got to go. Let me drop these links in the chat if I can get this thing to work. And I'll try to be on time tomorrow. Hopefully my Streamlabs doesn't reset again. That's really annoying. There we go. Share the page. All right, here it is. Copy. And what the hell's going on here? Oh, there it is. Okay. Un momento, por favor. Good Lord. There it goes. All right. Here are today's links from the show. Oops. All right, there you go. I'll drop those in the description also. Thanks, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is PDawgKnight, and I am out of here. Bye, 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 bye. Hey, this is PDawgKnight, and thanks for watching today on the PDawgKnight channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cashapp, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm PDawgKnight, and I'm out of here.